Good morning, friends. Very shortly, Laurie is gonna leave back to Canada. We are at the Everest Base Camp. This is Laurie. Right behind is the Khumbu Icefall. I have a few questions for Laurie, so we can all hear his response. So, Laurie, good morning, first of all.
Morning.
We have been together for almost 3 weeks. Actually, it is 3 weeks.
It is 3 weeks.
And we took time to get here and we did lots of hikes, climbing, and whatever. What is your assessment about me overall?
Okay, well, the 3 weeks that we've taken to get to here and physically active each day of those 3 weeks, trekking in from just short of Girish, I think has given you a real leg up on many of the other people here in terms of acclimatization and fitness. I think the last couple of days were hard, especially after you got ill up high briefly and threw up. And the next 2 days following that were really physically demanding. But I can see that you've recuperated quickly after 1 day of rest here in base camp. So I think you're ready to do the mountain. Now you'll have much opportunity to rehearse and practice the techniques you'll need for going through the icefall.
Yeah.
Another helicopter taking off.
Helicopter is coming or going away, actually.
Looks like it's going away, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm leaving today because I feel you're in good hands. I think your guide, Tommy, is excellent.
Yeah.
And I think you and him have a good understanding in terms of what's going to be needed up high. And I feel absolutely confident you're with the right person on this mountain.
Okay. What are some of the things I should keep working on or take care of?
Okay, your acclimatization is going to happen naturally. I don't think you have to worry about that. You're eating well, you're drinking well, and I hope you're getting enough sleep at night. That's stuff you know how to deal with. The main thing that's going to improve your chances up high are practicing rappelling, ascending rope, and switching when you're at a station at an anchor where the ropes change. That's where you'll need to practice more, and you'll have ample opportunity to do that in the next 3-4 days low down here at base camp. That's my suggestion as to what will assist you higher up. And I think you're going to find as each day goes by, you're getting stronger and stronger, because I think you acclimate very well, Girish.
Is there anything you noticed that you wanted to share with me? About me or otherwise?
I think those days that you went out alone back in Canada when it was extremely cold and you had no one else to rely on but yourself, and you did exceptionally well. I think you want to reflect on those days because you're going to have to pull some of that energy here into the activity on Everest over the next 6 to 8 weeks. I think the way you felt when you'd go out on your own, self-confident, capable, you would remember everything that you needed. That's what's going to be needed here on the mountain, with the backup being a competent guide and an additional Sherpa making your load that much lighter. So that's where I would say you need to focus in the next week or two, is getting those techniques down for moving along fixed rope so you're efficient. If there's a roadblock, you got to pass them. You and Tommy can do it together, moving effectively, because you know how to reattach to the ropes and start rappelling down. All of that just comes with more practice, and that's what you're going to be doing here in the week and weeks to come.
So, do I have your permission and blessings to attempt Everest Summit?
You do, absolutely. I think you're in the right hands. I think you've done all the hard work necessary to get here and be ready to do what's coming. So yes, you've got my blessings.
Okay. Thank you, Laurie, for all your guidance, friendship, and direction, everything. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. Because Laurie is leaving today and is right at the base of Everest Base Camp. This is where he was in 1982. So, Laurie, what is the right question here? What do you think, or how are you feeling revisiting your past?
Well, it was 40 years ago that I was here when we climbed the mountain in 1982, in the fall of 1982. It's quite different. the numbers of people, the number of base camp operations is huge. It took us half an hour to walk from one end of base camp to the other when we arrived. I'm happy for the Sherpas and for the people in the Khumbu Himal, the area around Everest, for the improved economy that it's brought people, employment, prosperity. I'm happy for them in that sense. Seeing all these people on Mount Everest, I don't have the same feeling as many of my peers. I think this mountain is big enough to endure any amount of attention and attraction. I think the majority of the people that are here are responsible and respectful. We talked to the head of the Icefall Doctors, and he told me his other responsibility is ensuring the area is kept clean and that all the agencies that come in here to use this take care of their waste properly and remove it. So I'm happy to hear that. So just alone for the Sherpas, I'm glad to see the level of interest that's being shown. And from what we heard this morning at breakfast, the mountain's in good shape. The icefall is safe, the safest it's been in many, many years, and the weather is stable. So all of that bodes well for your attempt on the mountain.
Nice. Well, you did bring the conversation back to me. I wanted to see what feelings you're taking back with you, and what are your plans in the future for Everest?
Well, the feelings I'll be leaving with, which will be shortly, are ones of gratitude for having been allowed to come in here, climb this mountain, and retain my health and well-being and still have an interest in climbing. What are my future plans? Well, my daughter just sent me a text saying, after seeing the pictures that you and I have sent her from our trek in, she wants to bring her new son and her husband into this area, wants to do the trek again. She did it with me in 2006, and now she wants to bring her family in and do it. So I will be back, if not next year, the year after.
Well, excellent. I wish you all the best, Laurie. Stay healthy, happy, and wealthy.
Thank you.
Okay. Enjoy lots of mountains.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Well, he's taken to heart everything I've suggested as to how you should get ready for Everest. That is, climb a lot here in the Canadian Rockies, get a sense of how mountains shift and change, weather, how your body feels when you're in the mountains and you're not quite up to it that day. All these are things that are important to learn before you go to the biggest mountain in the world. So I never thought of it as, is he my ideal client? But in the sense of listening to what I've suggested and what I've learned from many trips to Everest and other 8,000 meter peaks, yeah, I'd say he's the best client I've ever had in terms of paying attention to what's needed and preparing properly and showing respect as well. Yeah, one thing sticks with me, and that is a day that Girish went out and something happened on the mountain with some friends, and how he felt somewhat self-conscious about having shown people how to do things and maybe not explained it well enough so that some people were put at risk. I mean, he really does understand how to mitigate the risk by managing yourself well, by being respectful to the environment, not being impatient. So that sticks with me, that showed a great increase in his maturity in terms of relating to mountains and how to be safe in the mountains. And I think that's something his mother will appreciate, you know, that he has a deep sense of safety and respect when he goes in the mountains. So that stands out for me.
That tells how much training you've put in, how much you've done.
How much he's learned.
And how
I
much
put
he's
in
learned,
just as much
yeah.
training with other people that didn't pay much attention to it and then got into trouble on the mountain. So let's put credit where credit's due. I think Girish is a good student.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very much so, actually. I was in the same state of mind then as I am when it'll be my turn in 9 days to be leaving, and that is I stay pretty neutral. Try not to get too worked up about it. Just make sure that I've prepared as well as I can, and then the rest, we'll see how it unfolds. I don't try to script it out, because if things don't unfold the way you think they should, you get disappointed. And I think there's better ways of approaching things than that. So yeah, it did bring back a lot of memories. Like the last 3-4 years have gone in the snap of a finger.
Yeah.
Very quickly.
Very quickly. All right. Thank you, Laurie.
You're welcome.
Send your blessings to Girish.
I will, and I have.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think he's ready. And again, you know, he's got the physical challenge, I think, under control, the right gear, the right training, sufficient training for what's coming. The problem's going to be the traffic. It's going to be, we have, let's say we're driving back, it's a Friday today, and we get stuck in rush hour traffic on Deerfoot Trail. What do? Yeah, a faster car isn't going to help you. A more powerful vehicle isn't going to help you. If you had a better lunch, is that going to help you? No. It's, okay, how do I not get impatient, not get stubborn, not get into trouble because I become intolerant of the situation I'm in? That's going to be the big challenge. Now, the mountain could, depending on how events unfold, give Girish a window where there's not so many people up there. He may leave early enough that he's ahead of the others and summits just at dawn, so we can start down when the main body of people are coming up the mountain. There are ways to get around people. That's, to me, is going to be the biggest challenge, is going to be the traffic up there. And so relative to his safety being on the mountain, I feel confident he's going to do well, because I know how he did when he climbed Rainier and Mount Baker down in the United States. Even though they're not high altitude, they were very, very challenging, and he did just fine. So it's just going to be how things unfold traffic-wise on the mountain, I think, as long as he stays healthy. And he has the approval of his family, which I think, you know, just before leaving, where another mountain guide and myself did Mount Rundle, and came back down a very difficult line. And where it was the most dangerous, he got across it and then continued down. He didn't wait till I was there to offer moral support or maybe even a rope. Now, I didn't need it, but it bothered me that he didn't even stay behind. And so when I caught up to him, I told him, don't ever do that again with me, because if you do, I don't want to climb with you in the future. You don't leave behind people like that. Okay, so now we move 4 months later. I'm on Everest. 4 people have been killed, 3 at first, and 2 days later, 1 more. and we're descending off the mountain. The expedition leader is asking everybody to get through the ice fall, which was my job, to fix the ice fall along with another gentleman. And we did, where it was all damaged. And so he wanted to get out of there. He was really nervous. I said, okay. So I got my pack on. We rigged ropes and rigged bridges, so we were ready to start down. And as we're ready to leave, I look up and I see 8 more people coming down. And I looked at the last guy who was carrying a heavy load. It was a Sherpa. And I thought, I wonder what he's thinking right now. You know, I said, he knows 4 people have just died in here. I don't feel nervous. I felt okay. I don't know why. It's not because I'm brave or anything like that. So I thought, now I'll wait till the last guy goes through. It's because I'd given this other guy in Canada shit because he didn't wait for me. So how can I not wait for this guy? So I waited. And then as the Sherpa was the final one to go across the bridge, the fixed rope on the side got tangled in his pack with an ice axe that he had in there, and he was panicking. So without a pack on, I crawled out onto the ladder and got it undone for him, and he turned, and a snow stake sticking up the side hit me in the face and knocked me off, and I fell into the crevasse without a rope. And luckily, instead of going down 100 feet where the crevasse just narrows and narrows and you suffocate to death because it squeezes you, I hit an ice block and managed to hang on, but I hit on my side. That's what broke my ribs. So they lowered a rope to me, pulled me out, and then 2 Sherpas helped me off the mountain because I needed one on each side. I could hardly stand up, and they taped me up. So it was a blessing in disguise because that took me out of the rotation and forced me to go out to a hospital to get an x-ray. And in that time I was down at a lower elevation. I got to eat protein every day, omelets, spinach. I made sure I was eating what the Sherpas suggested: garlic, onions, greens, and